everyone, welcome to AI Product Builders. Today we are excited to have Joseph, the co-founder and CEO of Syncly with us. Joseph, an alumni of Harvard Business School, brings his expertise in sales operation to the forefront of AI technology. Syncly focus on helping all customer-facing teams understand urgent issues by analyzing customer interactions from various platforms like your emails, chats, and other kind of platforms. Basically pulls all your customer information and AI automatically categorizes data and surfaces trending topics, sentiments to give you full customer visibility. Joseph, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you, Siri, for having me.
Yeah. Joseph, could you tell me a bit about yourself, what inspired your creation of Syncly, and how has the journey been since its inception?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. Once again, I'm Joseph, co-founder and CEO at Syncly. Syncly uses AI to analyze customer feedback coming from different sources. So basically, we aggregate from feedback from different sources, i.e. Intercom, i.e. Zendesk, i.e. Gong, and bubble up unknown issues that can impact your customer base. And I am personally a serial entrepreneur running another AI startup back in 2015 and sold it 2019. And same co-founders, I founded Syncly last year and joined YC last winter 23. And basically, the problem we are solving is the gap between customer-facing team, mostly CX team, and the product team. And the reason it matters is that no matter how big is your company, small or big, customer voices matters, and because it guides you into the right direction to build something people want. But as the volume of customer voices increases and the channel gets diversified, it's so easy to lose the visibility on the customer pains that can eventually impact the retention. So that's what we are helping customers to stay close to customers, no matter how big is your company is.
Got it. So with the rise of AI, there's many things changing, and how is Simply leveraging AI to transform the companies collecting and analyzing customer feedback? I mean, traditionally we had, a lot of simple sentiment and analysis, but with generative AI, what's new?
No, I think that's a great question. So I believe that AI will redefine the way people understand customer voices. So if you look at the current workflow, it's more like a bottom up. So what I mean by that is that you build your tagging taxonomy, which will be irrelevant once you release a new feature, unfortunately. Anyways, you build a tagging taxonomy, and when the feedback comes in, you read it, you tag it, cluster it, and you measure the impact. It could be a revenue impact or sentiment analysis, as you mentioned. But the pitfall is because you gotta read all the customer feedback, it's super time consuming, and you might lose your golden time to identify the issue and deal with it. So I believe that the new way should be let AI define your criteria, your tagging taxonomy, and you just need to choose what to keep track of. So basically, let AI cluster and dissect your customer feedback based on your customer segment or other your criteria, and that's it. So it's more like a top-down approach.
Got it. Yeah, I think that's totally makes sense. So, thinking about your user demographics and product journey, like who are your users? What is your ultimate persona look like? And what do they do? Where they're from?
Awesome. Yeah. So most of our customers are customer support slash customer experience leaders at B2B SaaS or consumer apps company. Also, a business operation leader or, just head of operation, whose job is basically streamline the process between the customer facing team and the product team is another our users.
Yes.
And what they wanted to achieve is they try to identify customer issues hindering a 5-star customer experience, and they just wanted to do it at scale.
Got it. So, understanding more about Syncly, right? So, what happens once you analyze the feedback? Where does that go?
Yeah, sure. So we basically ingest all the customer feedback into our platform. So
Mm-hmm.
we act like a single source of truth of the customer feedback. And what we
Mm-hmm.
do from there is that we find a commonality, and we cluster all the feedback and analyze the impact using the revenue data or their customer segment data. So you can
Mm-hmm.
see what are the top 10 most urgent topics from
Topics.
certain
Okay.
customer segment in real time.
Got it. So
Yeah.
that's the reason, right? It's not only the customer teams using this product, also the product
Mhm.
teams, because they know what to build next. What are the most critical issues, if there's any bug, are those issues being tracked as well?
That's correct.
All right, got it.
Mhm.
Um, Moving, talking about users again, right? We all know that building
Mhm.
a user base is critical for any product. So how did you
Mhm.
go about acquiring your initial user base? Like, what are the key growth strategies that worked particularly in your case?
Yeah, no, that's also a great question. It's especially for our first 10 customers, it's all about founder-led sales and
Mm-hmm.
referrals. So
Mm-hmm.
our goal in the beginning was to find the happiest first 10 customers using Syncly.
Mm-hmm.
So to be honest, I think there's no silver bullet for this. It's all about you reach out people and you try to convince your mission and vision and show your product and make them happy when they use your
Mm-hmm.
product. And once you find the first 10 happiest customers, there's a referral happening, right? So
Yes.
it's you get two referrals, it's going to be 20 customers. Another two refers for each customer is it's going to be 40 customers. So that's how we find the first 10 customers and 20 customers. And once you do that, our highest performing channel is now LinkedIn. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a flywheel effect when you post a relevant use case or feature update and
Mm-hmm.
you reach out to people on LinkedIn, then they will see your post and they find it relevant, then they want to talk to you.
Got it.
And last but not least, we try to host meetups to meet more people in the community, especially in the Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's working to some extent as well.
Got it. So did the Y
Yeah.
Combinator community help?
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially in
Mm-hmm.
the early days,
Yes.
you gotta meet as many people as possible, right? So
Yes.
I remember I asked some warm intros through my YC batchmate, and
Mm-hmm.
I also try to reach out some YC alumni if they are interested in the problem that we are going after. So YC was definitely a game changer.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's talk a bit about your technology, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So there's often a lot of skepticism around AI in customer insights. I've seen one of your blog where you mentioned gamified
Hmm.
training and providing measurable results. So can you
Hmm.
walk us through this process and how do you make sure that your
Hmm.
customers have trust in your AI models?
No, that's a good question. So people people love AI, but at the same time, they don't want to fully rely on AI
Mm-hmm.
because you will be in big trouble if, let's say, if AI comes up with incorrect insight or like something wrong, right?
Yes.
So most of people, including me, even me, want some degree of controllability on AI.
Mm. Yeah.
So basically, they want to like personalize AI to them. But the
Mm-hmm.
problem is the training process is so much boring.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we need to gamify the training process. So like, so how we can do is basically, if you want to
Mm-hmm.
see the insights on your, let's say one of your feature, let's say login
Mm-hmm.
page, right? Or login feature.
Yeah.
Then once you set it up, I want to get some insight on login feature. Then what our AI do is our AI shows random 20 examples that it thinks
Okay.
relevant. And all you need to do is click yes or no. It's like a yes no questions, like yes
Mm-hmm.
no game. And then once you do like a answer all the 20 questions, all the 20 examples, then we show you the confidence score, your
Got
score.
it.
Then if you like it, you can you can stop doing it. But if you don't like it, you can play another game to actually increase the score. to the point
Got
where
it.
you're satisfied. Then you can actually see how AI is accurate by looking at the
Got it.
score that you trained. Then that gives you trustworthy, like so much confidence. Then you can start relying on AI from
Got
the
it.
point.
Yeah.
That's how we
So,
gamify the process. Yeah,
yeah, totally makes sense.
yeah.
But is there any confidence score that you stick to, or is it left to customers?
Sorry, could you repeat that question again?
I mean,
Yeah.
the confidence score you mentioned, right? You at
Uh-huh,
the end
uh-huh.
you give confidence score. Is there some certain rule for 85%
Oh,
is the best, 90 is the best? Like how do you decide on that?
yeah, yeah. So there are three buckets. If the score is above 80, then it's above average. So you can
Mm-hmm.
rely on AI. If it's
Mm-hmm.
between 60 to 80, it's kind of like an average score. So you can, it's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
AI starts playing, but you might want to retrain it. If it's
Hmm.
below 60, then you definitely want to play another game.
Yes, got
Yeah.
it. Thank you for providing information on that.
Mhm.
So what are some of the biggest challenge in scaling this next generation feedback analysis? Like, what are some exciting possibilities do you see emerging in this space?
Yeah, so no, that's also a great question. So I think from a challenge perspective, I think uh, the biggest challenges would be how we can make the process much more self-serve ready.
Mm-hmm.
So so your customer communication channel have all different data format, right? Like
Yeah.
chat, like Zoom call like this one, or
Mm-hmm.
like email, they all have different formats and they all have different ways to integrate data, parse the data.
Yeah.
But as you know, more data, more powerful AI insight you can get, right? So I think from product perspective, whoever makes it easy for the customers to ingest the data from different sources as easy as possible and bring them to wow moment ASAP will be a winner in this market.
Got
So
it.
I think it's more like how you can actually make the product so simple and build like a powerful AI model on top of that.
Got it. So
Yeah.
regarding the usability perspective and
Mhm.
everything, like currently how many integrations do you support? And what kind of
Yeah,
data do you bring in? Is it just qualitative, quantitative, video, text?
yeah, that's a great question. So we integrate with more than 10 platforms,
Mm-hmm.
including Intercom, Zendesk, Front, Slack,
Yeah.
Gong, Zoom Call, and other survey tools like SurveyMonkey or like a Google Form.
Mm-hmm.
And we also support Zapier integration, so you can also use all
Yeah.
the integration that are supported by Zapier. So the number is actually more than 10. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so and we provide native integration for all of them. So it's just like a one-click integration. You log in with your credentials, and we start pulling your qualitative data, which is like a chat or like call data,
Yeah.
and your customer metadata,
Mm-hmm.
including your customer ID, company, like their names,
Mm-hmm.
revenue data, customer segment, but it's all optional, so you can opt in or out based on your
Got it.
preference. So
Preference.
yeah, that's the list of data that we pull in.
Got it. And do you see there's a drop in usage of other platforms because now everyone comes to Syncly to do the analysis? Maybe I don't want to go to Zapier, I don't want to go to Zendesk, right? I don't
Mm-mm.
want to go to Salesforce to do all this analysis. I can do it in Syncly.
Yeah, I think currently our most of our customers are using both because I think we
Mm-hmm.
have different use cases. On
Mm-hmm.
Zendesk and Intercom, they are a great tool when it comes to communicating with the customers, right?
Yes.
And but reporting wise, we support very robust reports using AI. So when
Mm-hmm.
they like make a weekly reports or a monthly or quarterly for QBR, then they come
Mm-hmm.
to Syncly to see if there's
Mm-hmm.
any trend or anomalies they have not detected, and they
Mm-hmm.
report to their customers or boss or like their peers or product teams. So I think it's more like a supplementary purpose.
Got it. So we talked a bit about training, the models through the user confidence score, but what about, iterating the features or the products itself based on user feedback? Like how has been your feedback loop helping you test and refine the AI features faster?
Yeah, no, that's also a great question. So what we
Mm-hmm.
learned from customer is, as I mentioned, the biggest one was that they don't fully trust AI from the beginning. So our goal is basically to build a reliable AI feedback, like an algorithm, that is trained by human, in an
Mm-hmm.
easy and fast way. So we try to, like, we really focus on how we can actually make that training process easier, as I mentioned before. So
Yes.
that iteration, we come up with every, like, new methodology in every 3 days to, and let customers to test it out if that's
Mm-hmm.
something that they want. So we actually do a, like a 3 day sprint, especially in the
Mm-hmm.
early days, to actually come up
Mm-hmm.
with something that people want. So
Got it.
yeah, so that's what we really focus on, especially in the early, like, 3 months.
Makes sense. So how do you talk to your
Yeah,
customers? Like through customer interviews, or how do you keep in touch
yeah,
with them constantly?
yeah. So um, for our, like, I would say, like, discovery call, we usually talk to customers either in person or over Zoom,
Mm-hmm.
around 30 minutes. And after that, we really want to stay close to our customers, right? And we really want to be responsive to their request.
Mm-hmm.
So what we are using right now is a Slack Connect. So we
Mm-hmm.
create a Slack Connect, with every customer, and try to be responsive as much as possible. And they
Mm-hmm.
also like Slack Connect because that's where they spend their most time on, especially during
Got
work
it.
hour, right? So that's how we support and communicate with the customers.
Got it. So
Mm.
talking about the impact, right? Syncly seems
Mhm.
like a very great tool for the customer support team, especially.
Mhm.
So I want to know, like, how do you measure impact? Like, can you maybe provide us a real world case study where your tech made a tangible difference?
Yeah. So in terms of impact, is no, it's a great question. So we do impact analysis based on the revenue, for the most of
Okay,
time.
top line. Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. How much revenue uh this feedback will bring on if we start working on this, right? Because it's very intuitive, and it's easy to prioritize, right? So that's
Mm-hmm.
why we pull, revenue data as well as their customer communication data. So the
Mm-hmm.
revenue is the most popular ways to measure the impact. And
Mm-hmm.
second of all is their sentiment, right? You want the customer leave happy after they talk to your customer agent or customer success people, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we build a robust sentiment analysis algorithm as well to help them understand, okay, what are the, like, a top five, issues that
Issues.
customers who are unhappy in the
Mm-hmm.
certain period of time. So sentiment is another, like, key criteria that we are using.
Makes sense. So do you also look into response time and all of this?
Yeah, we also measure our response time as well, but
Mm.
right now
It's not.
we focus more on more like a qualitative insight, rather
Mm-hmm.
than like a response time, or like
Got
how
it.
many customers they talk to.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of information about Syncly.
Hmm.
Thank you for sharing your insights. But before I let you go today, I want to ask about your experience being a YC alumni. Like,
Hmm.
to young entrepreneurs, what targeted advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs looking to apply and get accepted to YC? Like, are there
Hmm.
any elements in the application or the pitch process that you believe are particularly vital for standing out?
Hmm. No, that's a great question. It really brings me back to the last
Mm-hmm.
winter, 1 year ago, and first of all, please apply YC. YC is super helpful, especially when
Mm-hmm.
you do a B2B SaaS like we do. You can meet so many great people, great companies through YC. So apply YC. And I
Mm-hmm.
think YC is betting on the founders. They believe when founders meet the right problem for them, amazing things will happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it is important to show why you are the right person to solve this problem and why the problem matters to you. And
Mm-hmm.
to prove that you are the right founder to work on this idea, it's always good to show some numbers, right? To show
Yes.
the progress, no matter when you started working on. So if you prove that you are moving fast and you are the right founder to go after this problem, then your application will be extended out.
All right. Makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think thank you for sharing that insight.
Mm.
That's it for today. Thank you, Joseph, for joining us today and sharing a lot of information about Syncly. We are excited to see what's coming up for Syncly in 2024. Yeah, that's it for today. Thank you again.
Thanks, Siri, again for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah, it's a pleasure
Mm.
talking to you.